morning.
Morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is.
Time is a relative construct, my friend. We
Right. Amen. Amen. Especially when you got the Indiana Jones Last Crusade poster in the back.
Hey, it's a classic. It's a classic. Actually, that's one of my favorites. Back
It,
from
it was it was on repeat this Christmas on ITV and BBC in
really
the UK. Yeah, it just ran pretty much every other day.
all of them, or just this one?
just just the
What?
Last Crusade.
That's so,
I
that's
would
so
like
random.
I would come home from the end of the day and I would like put on the TV and yeah, the Last Crusade would be on 4 days in a row. I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
yeah,
I
good
have
for those visuals.
I have no idea why. But that's I mean I would watch it. But anyway.
Watched it in like segments over a period of 4 days. I was like, I got the end first, and then I got like a beginning, and then the little bit of the middle, and then the first. Yeah, it's
So it was Indiana Jones and pieces of the Last Crusade is what we're.
exactly,
Yeah, it was just
exactly,
he took breaks. That's good to know.
yeah, exactly.
It's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Sunrise it's a blast. It's a fascinating film. There's a real no pun intended. There's a real teeth to it. What attracted you to the role?
you. Well, first of all, Guy Pearce
Yeah.
and me had worked together for. I was like, Guy Pearce, yes, Guy Pearce attracted you to the role. So
Fair
yes,
enough,
he
fair enough.
also attracted me to the role, but uh, we had worked together before, and I thought it was incredibly unfair. He had top billing of the other film, so I thought, you know, why not do him one over? So we're equal playing field. And I said to Guy, on this one, it's my turn, and he said, "Sure, be my guest." On the next one, it will be his. So we'll just do like this back and forward. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. No, I love Andrew. Um, I spoke to Andrew. I read the script. I had talked to Andrew about certain mythology that I thought we could interject, a certain kind of mythology we could interject into the film. He was super open to the ideas, and then his take on the script visually, I was really intrigued by, and yeah, and I wanted this character. You know, he is quite a quiet visual force, shall we say, in this film, ominous in his stature, and and Andrew was open to kind of really diving down into that path, and so it was something a little different than I had done before, and yeah, I wanted to be a part of the story. I thought the story was great.
It really is. It really is. It was interesting. So I've spoken to Andrew about the film, and one of the things that he notes is your character is one who, in his mind, is dealing with addiction and trying to break free. I was wondering what you thought about that, and what's your take on him, the
Uh,
character, That's or Andrew.
Well, I mean, perception is reality. Maybe that's Andrew's perception, and maybe that was to some extent a part of Fallon, the character's, you know, projection in some ways. But I think it was more to do with loss, and a fear. I think the common thread through the film is, you know, finding our placement, finding our peace, and we're as humans always trying to find our peace, and we all go through like our own journeys to find our peace, and when we come to terms with it, it's actually the journey that we learn from and not the end result. And I think that the common thread through the film is that you have this family that is dealing with death and a loss on a relative note, and then you have Fallon that you know is a version of death in some ways. And then you have Guy's character who is running away from death,
Mm.
and um, and this thread through of each character arc and story um, is fascinating to me.
Yeah, it is interesting because it's this tension between, well, life and death, as you say. And one of the key aspects of this film that keeps coming up is the notion of fear, but fear of so many different things. We see with Guy's character fear of the other, and this is rooted within the community as well. With your character, it's a little maybe it's fear of dealing with that hurt or that loss. I'm not sure, but I was wondering for you, this idea of fear, wondering from your perspective, like what is it about fear that can drive us and split us in half, if you will, drive us so deeply into danger is not the word, but despair, I suppose.
I think there's that common saying, do one thing each day that scares you.
Hmm.
And why this notion to do something that scares us each day? And I think because it brings a sense of awareness. you know I think that you in a time of fear or panic, your senses are heightened and you have this pure awareness of your surroundings. And I think that is something that we fear is something that we become um, accustomed to as being something that is um, negative. And I think that we have to go through, or characters in this film and us as humans have to go through suffering to find compassion, you know? And these characters do go through suffering and do find resolution at the end. And I think that's in everyone's journey. Um, and fear is the common thread through this film, but its meaning means different things for each character. And fear is not just one element or one motion or one emotion. Fear is a subjective to anxiety. Fear is a subjective to control. Fear is a subjective to, different human emotions and elements. And so I think we dissect that throughout the film through each character.
Absolutely, I really appreciate it. Um, Honestly, Alex, film's a lot of fun. There's a lot more to it than appears on the surface, especially as the film begins. So, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Great. Have a
Yeah.
great day.
Thank you.